Ever found yourself so stressed that you can't remember if you're wearing socks? It's a funny image, isn't it? But it's not far from the truth for many of us. In our fast-paced world, the pressure cooker of life can sometimes make us forget even the most basic things. Stress, my dear listener, is a sneaky creature. It creeps into our lives, often disguised as the daily grind. One moment you're sipping your morning coffee, and the next you're scrambling to find that report you were sure was due next week. But surprise, surprise, it's due today. And that's just it. Everyone experiences stress. It's as inevitable as a Monday morning. But the key is not in avoiding stress. No, it's about managing it, taming it, making it work for you instead of against you. You're not alone, my friend. Stress is as common as forgetting your keys. But how about we learn to manage it better? Ever heard of self-care? No, it's not just about bubble baths and scented candles. It's about understanding and prioritizing your mental health, like keeping your body in a healthy state. You wouldn't neglect a broken leg, would you? Then why should we neglect our mental well-being? It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Self-care isn't about being selfish or indulgent. It's about acknowledging that you need to fill your own cup before you can pour into others. You can't give what you don't have, right? Just as you schedule your work, time with friends and chores, you need to schedule time for yourself. It's about creating a routine that includes activities that make you feel good, that rejuvenate you, and that help you maintain your mental health. So, self-care isn't about escaping to a spa every weekend, though that sounds lovely, doesn't it? It's about doing little things to keep your sanity intact. Now let's dive into the nitty-gritty of self-care. No, you don't need to become a yoga master. You don't need to run a marathon, live on kale smoothies, or sleep for 14 hours a day either. Self-care can be much simpler and more manageable than that. Let's break it down. First, we have physical activity. No, that doesn't mean you have to become the next Olympic champion. It's as simple as taking a quick walk around your block, doing a few jumping jacks during your lunch break, or even just stretching your limbs every now and then. The goal here is to get your heart pumping and your blood flowing. It's the small, consistent efforts that add up in the end. Next up, healthy eating. Don't worry, you won't have to swear off all your favorite foods. It's more about balance and moderation. Try to incorporate more fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins into your diet. And remember, it's okay to have that piece of cake or bag of chips every once in a while. It's all about not going to extremes. Then we have sleep. This is one area where more really is better. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. A good night's sleep is like hitting the reset button on your body and mind. It's a chance to recharge and refresh. So don't skimp on your Z's. Lastly, mindfulness. This isn't about achieving some state of zen or enlightenment. It's about taking a moment to just be, to breathe, to notice the world around you, to quiet the noise in your head. It can be as simple as taking 5 minutes out of your day to sit quietly and breathe deeply. So, it's not rocket science, is it? A little exercise, some healthy food, a good night's sleep, and a moment of peace. That's all it takes. So how do you make these self-care steps a routine without it feeling like another chore? That's a brilliant question. And I'm glad you asked. Now remember, this isn't about adding more work to your plate. It's about infusing joy, relaxation, and self-love into your everyday life. First off, let's talk about integrating these steps into your daily life. Imagine your self-care activities as sugar in a cup of tea. You don't want them sitting at the bottom, do you? No, you want them blended into your day, making each moment sweeter. Now, how do you do that? Well, the trick is to weave them into your existing routine. Maybe you can start your day with 5 minutes of mindful breathing or end your day with a gratitude journal. Setting reminders can also be a great way to make self-care a part of your routine. Your phone isn't just for scrolling through social media or answering emails, it can be your personal self-care assistant too. Set up reminders for when it's time to take a break, meditate, or even just drink a glass of water. Next, let's make these activities enjoyable. Think about it, would you rather do something that feels like a tedious task, or something that you look forward to? By choosing activities that you love, you're more likely to stick with them. Maybe you love painting or playing the guitar. Or perhaps you enjoy a simple walk in the park. Whatever it is, if it makes you feel good, it's your self-care. Finally, consistency is key. It's like going to the gym. You can't expect to see results after one day of working out. It's the same with self-care. It takes time to see the benefits, but trust me, it's worth the effort. Here's a little tip. Start small. You don't have to overhaul your entire routine overnight. Begin with 1 or 2 activities and gradually build up from there. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Start small, be consistent, and soon you'll find these habits becoming second nature. Wondering, what's the big deal about self-care? Well, let me tell you, it's nothing short of magic. Imagine you've been gifted a magical potion, one that can turn your frown upside down, make your mind as clear as a serene lake, and fill your heart with the warmth of 1,000 suns. That's self-care for you. It's like the fairy godmother we all wished we had, but guess what? We do. Only, it doesn't come with a wand or a pumpkin carriage, but in the form of little things we do for ourselves. Self-care is like that secret ingredient in your favorite dish. You might not see it, but oh boy, can you feel it? It's the cherry on top of a well-lived day. It's like a little pat on the back after a long day, a whisper that says, "Hey, you did well today." Now let's talk about mood. Ever had one of those days when you feel like a balloon filled with helium, ready to burst any moment? Well, self-care is like a tiny pinprick letting out all that pent-up stress in a controlled, peaceful way. It's like a personal rainbow after a stormy day. And productivity, think of it like this. Your brain is like an engine and self-care is the premium fuel it needs to run smoothly. It's like giving your brain a metaphorical massage, loosening up all those tense neurons so they can fire away with renewed energy. But the magic of self-care doesn't stop there. It's like a protective shield, buffering you against the slings and arrows of everyday stress. It's like your personal superhero cape, giving you the power to face whatever life throws at you. So in a nutshell, self-care is like a magic potion, a secret ingredient, a personal rainbow, premium fuel, and a superhero cape all rolled into one. It's your personal toolkit for happiness, resilience, and well-being. So, self-care is not just good for you, it's like being a superhero. But instead of fighting villains, you're fighting stress. Feeling ready to conquer the world of self-care? You should be. We've journeyed through the importance of self-care, its necessity, the building blocks, and how to make it a routine. Now it's time to put it all into practice. So, what did we learn today? We discovered that stress is not just a buzzword, but a real phenomenon with tangible effects on our bodies and minds. We recognize that self-care isn't a luxury, but a necessity, much like our daily bread and butter or that morning cup of tea. It's not selfish to take care of yourself, it's essential. We explored the building blocks of self-care. Remember, it's not about grand gestures or expensive spa treatments, it's about the simple everyday actions that nurture our well-being. It's about getting enough sleep, eating well, moving our bodies and connecting with others. It's about finding joy in the small things like reading a good book, listening to your favorite music, or even just taking a moment to breathe deeply. We also discussed how to make self-care a routine. It's not about a one-off activity, but a daily practice. It's about prioritizing your well-being, setting boundaries, and making time for the activities that nourish your soul. It's about making self-care a non-negotiable part of your schedule, just like brushing your teeth or checking your emails. Finally, we delved into the magic of self-care. It's not a quick fix, but a slow and steady process. But when you stick with it, you'll find it can transform your life. It can help to reduce stress, boost your mood, improve your relationships, and enhance your overall quality of life. So, are you ready to take the first step? Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being kind to yourself, giving yourself grace, and taking one step at a time. So go ahead, put on those socks you forgot about, and step into the world of self-care. You've got this.